This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Getting inquiries and finding new couples is probably one of the hardest things for new wedding photographers. Or honestly, it's the hardest thing for any photographer right now. If you've been following along on the channel, which shameless plug, go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button for me. You'll know that I had no bookings for 2024 and 2025, and I was barely getting any inquiries at all. I actually made a whole video about that, which I'll link up above. You can check that out after this video. But what if I told you I made one simple change on my website that actually 10x'd my inquiries? And really, I've been super surprised at how big of a change this has made. But before we get into the specific change, we have to talk about how wedding pricing works on your website and the different approaches to it. Now, when it comes to wedding photographers and showing off your pricing, there's usually two different approaches that we generally take. You have the no pricing approach and also the show pricing approach. And there's pros and cons to each. With the no pricing, you get to focus on value and what you're bringing to your couples, and you get more inquiries because you're going to deal with price shoppers. The cons to that is you get the price shoppers and they show up in your email and then they ghost you after they figure out the price. So there's a lot of emails that you have to go through, and if you don't have automations, it's going to make it even more of a challenge, which I do talk about automations in my Honeybook videos. I'll link one up above for you right here. The no pricing approach is generally taken by more upscale wedding photographers because one-off, not showing your price makes you look more luxury, and also you get to talk to your couples first rather than just get the price in front of their face. If you have a sales team or anything like that, not showing pricing actually helps out there. However, the other approach is actually showing your pricing on your website. This is the approach I generally take. With showing your pricing, the pro is you don't deal with the price shoppers. They see the price up front on your website, and if they don't like it, they go away. This easily puts you in control about how many inquiries you're getting, and you know that the inquiries that you do get are hotter leads. Since they've already seen the pricing, you know that that's not going to be on the table, and when you meet with them, you can talk about value, what you bring to the wedding day, and what they actually want, rather than just how much is it going to cost. Now, the downsides to showing your pricing is it could make you look cheap, and again, you still get price shoppers, people who might ask for a discount, and or just people who think you're cheap and will go with you for that. When it comes to luxury, you're not going to look luxury anymore, and the people who really want to spend big money probably won't go with you, but that's here or there. Let me know in the comments what you think is the better process. Now, if you haven't built a pricing page on your website yet with either of these approaches, you really need to do it with this video sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is my online platform of choice for building my website, and I've been using it for over 10 years now. It's easy to use and looks great, and you don't have to actually know how to build websites to make a beautiful website. My website looks great and I make updates to it all the time. It's super easy to use. If you want to create a blog, get your ideas out to the world, or make a wedding photography website and get inquiries, Squarespace is going to be able to handle all that for you. It has many features that any business would need, like invoices, analytics, Squarespace payments, and so much more. So you will get everything you need out of a Squarespace website. So make sure to check out the link in the description below for 10% off of your first website or domain, and build yourself a pricing page on your website. This is the best way to get people to look at your page, your pricing, and inquire with you on what they want. So again, like I said earlier, I generally take the show your pricing approach. I think it makes the most sense, and as a shopper myself, I'd rather just see how much it costs rather than having to get in touch with you just to see that it costs way too much for me and waste everyone's time. However, this approach was not working for me the last couple of years, which is why I was not getting any inquiries at all. And actually, I explained that to you all in a live stream I did recently. In 2021-22, I was feeling myself too much. What happened to me, and I think it's affecting everyone, but let me tell you my personal story and how I kind of screwed myself over. So first context is, remember, I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, but I had moved away in like 03, went to college in Boston, and started working in New York, lived in Jersey for a while. So I was gone for a long time. Started my photography business while I was in New York. So I moved back down here in late 2018. I was still mainly doing New York weddings. 2019 was my first full year in North Carolina, but I was still doing more New York weddings. 2020 obviously messed everybody up. 21-22 was kind of a flood of couples. So it was easier there. But within that time, my YouTube started doing really good. I lost a bunch of weight and I was feeling myself. I was buying small size clothes, you know, and I was booking enough. So I was like, well, YouTube's doing well. It's making most of my income. So I don't want to do as much and I want to focus on YouTube. So I jacked my prices up fairly high. Not super high for this area, but for being a photographer who technically wasn't really known in this area, my prices were too high. So pretty much 2020, 21, 22 are a wash, right? You can't really count those years. Like, I was still getting known, but everything was all over the place. Now I jacked my prices up, and then come 2023, 24, I just cost too much. Like, the economy starts tanking, everyone's freaking out, and my prices are too high, and no one knows me. So I kind of screwed myself over. So what I ended up doing is a hybrid approach. I showed the pricing on my website, but also gave a reason for people to want to get in touch with me to find out more. And this has made a huge difference. The first thing I did to solve my issue was to adjust my pricing. Now, again, like I said, I raised my prices a little too high. However, they're not too high for the area. So I was charging $6,500 for an 8-hour day, second photographer, album, so on and so forth. And that's pretty regular for this area for a photographer who's established and known. Like I told you in my story, I'm not known that well because really I came here right before COVID and never established myself as much as I would have liked to. So I know it sounds like, oh yeah, you dropped your prices, that's why you got more increase. But that's not just it. Not only did I bring my prices back for where they should be, but I added value as well. You can see here on my pricing page, I have my main pricing here, but I also added some add-ons with video content. This way couples are getting more and I can charge a little bit extra for that as well. So I didn't really drop my prices, I just made them more reasonable compared to what I was doing before. Now I do have a package that is larger than this main $3,500 one that is more closer to my $6,500. So really I'm not dropping my prices, I'm just adjusting everything. And adding value is really the name of the game, and it's the main thing you need to be doing when it comes to adjusting your pricing. Think about how much you're paying for things out of your own pocket, and think about how much money you'll be actually making rather than just giving away a lot of things. Make it a valuable package for you and your time and also your couple. Taking the approach of showing my pricing and not showing my pricing at the same time, however, I think is the real kicker that is getting people to inquire. Now, as you can see here on this page, I show my main package that I want couples to go for. This is the most reasonable. They're going to get the best coverage for the day. 8 hours, 2 photographers. This is what everyone needs. However, this is the middle of the road package. It's not my lowest or my highest package. By showing this, this gives me the ability to put a button on my website that says view more packages. And that's almost the same as the no pricing approach. By doing this now, I give couples a reason to want to get in touch with me and see more of my pricing. Now, I will get more price shoppers. However, they've already seen the price. So these aren't full-blown price shoppers, but maybe they're like, oh, we want 10 hours instead, or maybe we don't need as many hours, or we only need one photographer. Let's see what else he has. Now, this form that I created on my website as well is actually shorter than my main contact form. Because of this, people have been filling it out way more often than my main contact form. I actually get most of my inquiries through this as well. Because really, it's just their name, their fiance's name, email, and the wedding date, and that's it. By giving couples a reason to want to actually inquire with me because they're getting something out of it, rather than just meeting with me to book, has made a huge difference. And I've already gotten a good like 15 to 20 inquiries, and they keep coming in and at a quicker pace as well, which has been awesome. The other thing that's awesome as well is that this button leads to a form that's created directly on Squarespace. So it's not a HoneyBook form. However, when it hits my email, I use Zapier to automatically send it to HoneyBook. Then I created my own automation specifically for couples who go through this form to give them additional email information to try and push them for an actual meeting with me so that I can book them. So again, you have to adjust your whole process for what makes sense for your couples. Between the price change, the value change, and making it easier for them and then they're getting information out of it, this as I said before, has 10x'd my inquiries. If you're struggling with inquiries, I highly recommend you take this approach on your website. I'll link my pricing page down below, and please don't copy it word for word. But if you want to copy the overall layout and how it looks in the approach, go ahead. Please don't just copy the website. So many people, there's ChatGPT now, y'all. It's not that hard to write text. So don't copy the web page. Don't copy the text, just the layout. Let me know what you all think about showing your pricing or not showing your pricing. And if you actually ended up taking this approach, if it helped you out, I would love to hear if it helps you get more inquiries, because I've been super surprised at how big of a difference it's made for my inquiries. And a lot of them are scheduling meetings with me, and things are going so much better right now than it was a year ago. I'd love to hear about your successes, and if you want to watch more videos to learn about wedding photography, definitely check out these over here, and I will catch you all next time.